starting work at 10:49 at night. That's what you want. Continuing on with the shop build, I've got good news and I've got bad news. Starting with the good news, the plumbing is finally done. We've got running water, we've got drainage, we've got compressed air lines everywhere. It's complete. It only took them almost a month to finish something that should have been done in like 4 or 5 days. Don't get me started on that. It's done, and that is a huge thing checked off the list towards getting this place up and running. I also found some much bigger stainless steel tables to cure that issue that we had with the heat presses not fitting on the other ones from a few videos back, so I can fix that up today. That's awesome. And thank you to a subscriber named Alex. He actually helped me track these things down. He gave me a few different places that might have what I was looking for, and sure enough they did, so thank you very much, sir. And there's another new piece of equipment showing up in this video. I swear, there's only like 1 or 2 more things left to show up here, and that's it. We're done with that. But this one, it's super dope. Now the bad news. And this one was kind of a punch in the dick. If you remember back at the very start of this whole project, I put out a video showing the whole layout and blueprint of what I wanted the shop to turn into and where I wanted things to go. Well, somewhere along the line, the measurements that I had gotten for that auto back there were off by a pretty large margin. I'm talking a difference of like 5 feet. And because of that, most of that layout that I had come up with is now totally fucked. And that's why I'm in here right now. I have to scramble and move pretty much all of the main components of this shop around just to make sure all of it fits inside of the building. And the electricians want to come here tomorrow morning and start wrapping up the stuff that they have to do. So I'm under a little bit of pressure right now, but I think I have a solution. The auto, this is gonna stay where it's at. There's really no better place for this. It's just a lot bigger than I had initially planned for. Initially, my plan was to have loading and unloading over there. That's why I have the dryer situated the way it is. But now, there's not enough room for that to happen. If I wanted to do it that way, the dryer would have to go like 5 feet in that direction, which clearly it can't go because there's a whole bunch of other stuff on that side of the shop. So now my plan is to have the loading and unloading stations kind of where I'm standing at right now, and then take the dryer, do a full 180-degree spin with this thing and have the loading end of it on this side. That way the loader won't be jammed against the wall over there, which would totally suck. But with the dryer spinning around, now the manual has to go somewhere else. So I'm thinking that's gonna go somewhere in this general area where the heat press station was supposed to be. There was also supposed to be the DTG and the embroidery area over here, but all of this has to change now to accommodate the size of that new manual press. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna move the ink mixing table, the ink rack, and the toolbox, all of that over to here, kind of boxing in the manual press, and then set up 2 tables here and here to line up with heat presses, and then have DTG, pre-treat, embroidery, and that should fit everything in. There's only one way to find out. Let's do this thing. You know, I said last time I didn't want to pick this thing up by myself again, and here we are. Well, this isn't bad at all. I actually think I like this better. I don't know, something about the area and the workflow just feels a little bit more cohesive to me. And it gives me a nice wall to put all my embroidery crap on. That was a problem that I had not solved yet, so nice. I do have one pretty obvious concern though, someone might have spotted it by now, is having the heat presses right up against the ink shelf. There's 2 pretty big problems with that. The first being, I don't know if this radiant heat coming off here will be enough to cure any of this ink and cause any issues, but I don't want to take that chance. And I definitely don't want fresh clothes that are being heat pressed that close to a bunch of ink buckets. I do keep my ink buckets very clean, but shit's bound to happen one way or another. So I'm just gonna get some plywood and sheet the backside of this shelf, paint it all black so it blends in nicely, and that should be problem solved. Anyways, this table is ready to go for our new piece of equipment to show up, but first things first, I gotta spin this dryer around. I feel like I'm in that scene in Austin Powers where he's stuck in the cart in that hallway. God damn it. Well, that was fun. This probably isn't gonna be the final configuration of everything. I'm gonna have to inch things around and get it perfect, but for now, this seems pretty legit. Whoever's gonna be unloading shirts should be able to just grab one off the pallet, pivot, drop it on the belt, let her rip. This is tough, man. I feel like I'm trying to stuff 10 pounds of shit into a 5-pound bag, but I'm making it work. Anyways, it's almost 3 a.m., so I'm over it. I'm out of here. It's been a little bit of time since I filmed the start of this video. We've got our shipment of new equipment showing up today, but in that time frame, something really fucking awesome happened. We hit 100,000 subscribers. Man, that is the coolest thing ever. I've been making YouTube videos on and off for like 6 years now, and I haven't really been captain consistent throughout this whole thing. Sometimes I make videos, sometimes I don't. There was one point there where I took almost an entire year off of making them. I also completely changed the subject matter of my channel halfway through that and lost every bit of ground that I had gained and had to start pretty much at ground zero again. So between that and the inconsistency thing, I really didn't think that the 100,000 sub mark was going to be possible for me. But these last 3 years of making print-related videos have been the most fun that I've had on the platform, hands down. This is the type of content that I've always wanted to make in a creative sense, and well, thankfully you guys all liked it. For 6 years, I've been thinking in my head how cool it would be to get one of those YouTube play button plaques one day, and I'm finally going to get one. They already sent me the email telling me it's getting made and it's going to be on its way soon, so oh, yes. Huge thank you to all of you guys who watch these videos, click the like button, comment on stuff, share them on other platforms, share them with your friends, whatever you're doing. I can only make these things and put them out there. It's you guys who help this channel grow, and it's you who helped me hit this super important milestone that I've wanted to hit for a very long time. So again, thank you. I probably have a lot more to say on the subject, but I think I'll save that for when the silver play button is actually in my hands. So in the meantime, I gotta get my ass outside because we've got a truck on its way here with some new gear. Inside of this crate lies the biggest and baddest heat press ever. The Stahls Dual Air Fusion. Something I actually do a lot of in this shop but don't really cover on the channel much for some reason is heat transfer stuff, which is really weird because that's how this whole business started. And now that I have the capabilities to make digitally printed vinyl, DTG, DTF, the amount of heat press action going on in this shop is going to increase substantially. So the good people at Stahls were kind enough to send over this big bastard, which is going to be amazing for the shop and for the channel because now I can cover basically any heat transfer topic imaginable. So let's all give a big thank you to Stahls. I put a link for this thing down in the description below for you guys if you want to check it out in further detail, but I've waited a long time for this thing, so I'm opening it. This thing is nasty. If you're not familiar with this thing, obviously it is a dual station press, and it's also a pneumatic press, so no manual handles to lift and lower, none of that. That is all taken care of with compressed air. And easily the coolest thing about this press is it can be set up to run fully automated. And like all of their other presses with the IQ system in it, it also has Wi-Fi, which will relay a ton of data back to their Hotronics portal where you can look up basically everything these presses are doing throughout a workday, which is pretty cool. That's if you're kind of a nerd for that stuff, which guilty. And of course their quick change platen system, which I love on my other press. Changing these things literally takes seconds. I also really like that it came with the quick slip platen covers on this thing. That was an added accessory I had to buy for my other press, and I don't operate it without them. I hate the rubber tops on heat presses. I find loading shirts on them a massive pain in the ass. It takes forever to get them to lay flat and straight and whatever. With these things, you can do it literally in seconds. And also, if you don't want to run it, they just pop right off, so you can go either way. I am definitely firing this thing up today. I've got all this new equipment in the shop, and for a multitude of reasons, I've barely turned any of it on yet. But this thing we're actually ready for, so I just need to get some help over here to lift this big bastard up. I got it kind of half-assed set up for now just to see what it does. I haven't finished installing the new air system in the shop yet, so I've just got a tiny little air compressor plugged into this thing. And I just discovered that the new tables that I just spent $1,000 on are kind of pieces of shit. There's no welds in them. They're all just press fit together, so all the joints just wobble like crazy. I'm gonna have to put some bolts in there or something. Anyways, she's all fired up. I've got the foot switch here. Check this out. This is so awesome. How cool is that? It also has the auto mode, which I was mistaken at first. It's not fully auto, it's more of a semi-auto. So you gotta press both these buttons, drop it down to do its press. Once it's done its press, it picks itself back up, moves over to the other side, and then you just have to repeat that process again over and over as you do your job. I also forgot to mention that they have this laser alignment system on both stations. All these lasers can be turned off or on individually, set up however you want. But I'm gonna be honest right now and say that this system, I've never been a fan of whatsoever. I've actually had the standalone version of this for my single station press for years now, and it's been sitting and collecting dust in the corner for a long time for a reason. And I just took a quick look at this thing and it's got all the same things that I don't like about the other one. We'll get into all of that once I get a chance to really shake this thing down and do a proper review video for you guys. But other than this, so far this machine looks pretty damn awesome. Shit, that's cool. We're getting really close to being done here, man. We're really just waiting on one part to show up so that the electricians can finish what they have to do, and once they're done, I can schedule my install for the auto, and then it's just a matter of odds and ends, cleaning up, setting up a few more things, and we're rolling. But like I said, there are still 2 more things showing up here. One is actually gonna show up tomorrow morning, so when that gets here, I'm gonna tear into that and tear into everything that's in that crate. And then of course, the final piece of the puzzle, which is probably gonna be the most special piece in this whole shop to me. Definitely something unique and one of a kind. Don't have an exact date on that yet, but I heard it should be very soon. So we're down to only 2 more videos of setting this place up, and then we can start playing with all of these fun new toys, which I'm so excited for. But that's gonna wrap this one up. Thank you again to Stahls for sending over that beautiful machine. Like I said, it's linked down in the description below, along with all the other heat presses I have here if you wanna check them out. And again, thank you to all of you guys who helped this channel hit that killer 100K milestone. So friggin' stoked. Don't forget to slap the shit out of that like button for me, drop your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you again in the next one.
I'm getting blown over right now. Oh, this sucks so much balls. Oh, it's freezing.
DTG and embroidery setups over that great every video, man. I gotta like bolt that thing down or something. It's gonna drive me crazy one day. I hate doing thumbnails so much. I always look like such an idiot doing the YouTuber face. Oh, gets people a click though. Fuck off, battery warning. Sony, you're dicks for putting this on here.